everybody, and welcome to the next installment of the Talking Groose. I am your host, The Groose. I'm coming from the Rocket Courier Studios, located in lovely Tempe, Arizona. And like always, across the table from me is the co-host, better known as Rich. How you doing today, co-host?
I'm good. Doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. It's been a few weeks since we've done this. We've changed it up a little bit. I've gotten a little bit of feedback from viewers, listeners about the time it takes for this show. It's about a half hour retention we have, so we're going to cut the show down to a half hour. People also want it funnier and a little more entertaining. So I decided that let's go ahead and change it up a bit, have a little bit of, put it on a diet, like we said we wouldn't do in 2024.
But the show didn't say it, so
that's true. That's good. Yeah, so then definitely. So we're going to do that. We're going to just cover some funny stories throughout that's happened since the last time we all sat here with you and talked. Anything exciting going on? It's been a while.
Just business as usual. Back to, after the holidays, back to normal.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy I'm not in the grocery business anymore. I mean, because we're ramping up for that next holiday called Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's been over 20 years for me.
It's been about 10 for me. It's been a while. It has been. So anyways, before we go on, I had this great thought. I was out this week driving around. And the two different handicap signs. They got the one guy that looks like he's racing and the one guy that's just sitting there.
Right, the racing one. I've seen that a couple times over the last few years.
Yeah, that's the new one. But what I thought is we need to go ahead and get like the stickers that said I did that with the President Biden pointing at the gas price.
Right.
We need to get people to...
Never did any of that myself. Never.
Oh, well, yeah. I wouldn't... Yeah, no, not at all.
Go on.
But I think we need to get out and put Joe Swanson stickers on all of them, on all the handicap signs. Joe Swanson from Family Guy. Yeah. I think that'd be great.
Got to get the sound effect in there. Hey, Peter!
Oh, well, that would be good. Anyways, with that, let's go ahead and get moving on to Weird from the Web. But first, let's go ahead and pay for this wonderful show. So we're coming to you from Rocket Courier Studios. If you are a business in Arizona, or you're a company that does business in Arizona, reach out to Rocket Courier. They've been in business for over 15 years. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They will deliver anything, and I mean anything from as small as an envelope to as large as a pallet. They also do court filings. They also do serves. They're your all-round courier company. Find them on the web at rocketcourieraz.com. Give them a call at 480-217-0933. Mention the Groose. Receive $5 off your first order. And remember, it's not rocket science. It's Rocket Courier.
Now for our section called Weird from the Web, we're going to tell you some stories that we found interesting on the web that we can add a humorous take to, that are probably humorous in their own right, but we're going to make fun of them anyway. So, for the first story, we've got a man stuck in a bathroom on a flight.
Yeah, so what happened here is there's a regional airliner from India. It's a low-cost low-cost carrier. It's called SpiceJet. Now, I'm assuming SpiceJet is similar to like a Allegiant or a Spirit Air or something, but it was on a flight from Mumbai to Bengaluru. The flight took 1 hour and 45 minutes. Passenger got up and went to the restroom. I believe it was about 45 minutes into the flight, and he couldn't get the door opened. What a shitty situation to be in. I mean,
yeah,
it's But then the story goes on. The story goes on to say that the Indian or the
flight crew.
Yeah, the flight.
Well, they looks like they printed up a note and they slid it under the door.
Yeah, they wrote a note on a napkin. Now that would never happen here in America. They would just tell you to sit down and shut up.
Right.
You know, but they wrote a note on a door, on a napkin, and slid it under the door. They said, "Sir, we tried our best to open the door. However, we could not open. Do not panic." I don't know. I would be shitting myself.
Probably. Well, they already went there to evacuate, so it's probably done already.
Well, yeah, but I would still find something else. I mean, do not panic. We are landing in a few minutes, so please close the commode lid and sit on it and secure yourself as soon as the main door is open. Engineer will come. Do not panic.
So is he like in the bathroom on the way down?
That's how I would. He was taking a selfie. I saw an article where he took a picture of himself in the bathroom mirror, one of those mirror selfies.
That would be a great video.
Once again,
I'm secure.
Yeah. Once again, what is with people taking selfies when they're in a bad situation on an airplane?
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row.
That's yeah. I mean. Yeah. I almost don't have words for it. So the article goes on to saying they interviewed the gentleman was interviewed, and so SpiceJet gave him a voucher. It was equivalent to $60. He said in the interview, he said, so soon after the flight took off at 2:10 a.m. I think that's the first problem, taking a flight at that time of the morning. I mean, that just calls for problems. I mean, that is the true definition of a red eye.
Second thing is, gosh, they wrote the note in English. I hope he spoke English.
I know, that would have been, I really do. I mean, because otherwise he probably would. That's probably why he, as he goes on, he says, I went to use the lavatory on the left front side of the plane. Within minutes, I realized something was wrong with the lock, and I tried to open it. He said that the crew failed to get it, and he was the crew failed to get the door opener. Was stuck in the toilet for the landing, and claimed that he was injured. Now, my question is, if you're injured when I've landed in an airplane, it's been pretty uneventful.
Right.
You hit the ground. Even if your seatbelt was off, you would still hit the ground and you'd go.
Maybe it was like in the airplane movie. Remember the guy in the bathroom shaving as they're landing?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Maybe he was doing that, or maybe they just kept bouncing like an airplane, when they came up and down. And anyways, it says, during the landing, I was thrown around and suffered injuries. It took 20 minutes for somebody to start breaking the door open. When I came out, I had bruises and my vision was blurred for a while, but I received no medical help after coming out of the loo. I got a bottle of water and a barrage of apologies from SpiceJet. SpiceJet regrets and apologized for the inconvenience caused to the passenger. And the passenger was provided a full refund. So I don't know. I don't know what.
I think I'd ask for a little more than a refund. And boy, SpiceJet, they spiced up his flight all right.
Yeah, they did, definitely. So with that, there was a man killed for snoring too loud.
I've wanted to kill a few people for snoring too loud before, mostly roommates. But suburban Philadelphia man is accused of stabbing to death a neighbor. A 55-year-old man was charged with causing the death of his neighbor, who was 62. He removed a screen from the victim's home, opened up the unlocked window, and had a verbal confrontation with him. Then he stabbed him in the chest with a military-style knife.
Okay. So let's stop there for a second. He stabbed them to death with a military-style knife, and he cut the window open, or he took the screen out. I would say there's something a little more going on there than just snoring.
Right.
I mean,
how did he? If he had to cut through the screen and open the window, I mean, I guess if the window was open, but if this happened Is this a story from this week?
Yeah, it was a couple days. It was earlier this week. This happened.
Wasn't there like a cold front over there? I mean, why would he have the window open and then be snoring?
Well, no, it was. If you go on in the article, it was also saying that they share a common wall. So I'm guessing maybe it was like a duplex or something.
Oh, okay.
They lived in. But still, what was the wall made out of? Paper?
Right.
I mean, I've lived in some apartments that have had pretty thin walls, but I've never been able to hear anybody snore.
I know, and the least he could have done is say, "Hey, dude, go get a CPAP or something. Don't not kill them."
If you go on in the article, you find out that he wound up offering the nasal surgery or something for him, and they thought they'd reached an agreement, but the guy goes ahead and kills him.
I mean, he must have driven him crazy eventually, or I don't know. Why else would you? Yeah, snoring. I guess I wanted to kill for less.
Well, at least you didn't, though.
Right? No.
But it's once again a man killed for snoring. The number of times I sleep like a rock, so I don't get bothered by snoring.
I'm usually the one doing the snoring, which is why I have a CPAP.
I don't snore.
That you know of.
That I know of. I've never been told I snore. I've been told I sound like Darth Vader when I sleep.
I could say that.
Sit there.
Luke.
I am your father. I mean.
So, next we've got the Queen Elizabeth II walking stick. Somebody tries to sell a walking stick on the internet that claims that it is one that Queen Elizabeth used herself.
Yeah, so what we got here is a guy winds up trying to sell a walking stick that there is a guy, 26-year-old man. He claimed to sell a walking stick that was used by Queen Elizabeth II on eBay. The auction had reached it was 540 pounds, so about $686 before he canceled it.
I mean, remember the story a few years ago? It's probably close to 20 now. Remember when, was it Luis Gonzalez with the Diamondbacks spit out some gum?
Oh, yeah, and people tried, and somebody said, hey, this is gum. This is the gum he spat out.
Right. And it ended up being a big thing, and like, well, how can you prove that's the gum he spat out?
Yeah, the thing is that if you're going to do something like that, the Queen just passed away not that long ago.
Have a little respect.
Have a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
But still, I'm going to capitalize on this. I mean, you got to give him credit for being capitalistic. I mean, it's got
to have some kind of authenticity to be able to sell something and claim that.
Well, yeah, you do, but so you're not the sharpest tool. And what's interesting is a lot of these articles that we're finding is a lot of strange stuff from our neighbors across the pond in England. So it's very comforting to know that the English are as screwed up as we are here in America.
More so.
More so sometimes. So it all goes down the drain.
Yeah, this is a weird one. Was this New York City?
No, this was once again in
Britain. That's right.
Britain, yeah.
They found in a pipe some of the oddest blockages they ever found. Opening up an old pipe. It's stuff like a tent.
Well, yeah, so a little bit of backstory here. So it's Waven. It's the one of the UK's largest suppliers and distributors and manufacturer of plastic drain pipes. So they did a survey in the country for its annual State of the Nation report. And they found they found a list of some of these unusual items. Things that were with the plumbers. They surveyed the plumbers, and this is what the plumbers had said they've found in pipes. It was the two-man tent with a sleeping bag.
How big was that pipe?
I don't know. If they flushed that down the toilet, I'd be amazed. I mean, maybe it was one of those knockout pipes or clean out pipes that are in your front yard. You know, somebody sat there and was with a plunger, or not plunger, but like a ramrod. Get in there! Come on!
One of those pipes where they put a metal grate over the top and you can see the water.
Oh yeah, it could have been one of those. I mean, why would somebody put a 2-man tent and a sleeping bag in a drain?
Storage.
I
see they found Lego bricks.
Well, that one's easy. Yeah,
kids, Lego bricks, rubber ducks, socks, adult toys as well, which doesn't necessarily surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me, but why would you throw your adult toys in the toilet? Throw them in the trash.
Quick, let's hide. My husband's home. Quick, throw the dildo in the toilet.
It must have been a very, very big dildo. That, I mean,
right?
If it would have gone down the toilet, I mean, yeah, they found teeth,
turkey bones, Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
How do you know it's a Brussels sprout?
How do you, if it's in the pipe, how do you know it's a Brussels sprout?
I mean, bananas, I'm like, wouldn't it be rotten by the time? I could see banana peel, maybe.
Well, the peel was probably there.
Yeah.
You know. And then this is the best thing they found. It's like a turducken. You know, the turkey inside of the duck inside of the turkey.
The famous John Madden turducken.
Yeah. They found a pipe stuck in another pipe.
It was his conjoined twin on the inside or something?
Yeah, could have been. I mean, hi, hey, I'm here because I got to find a pipe inside of a pipe. Yeah. Anyways,
it's like those like the Russian things where.
Oh yeah, the Russian dolls. It's like a Russian doll.
Right, you take a smaller one out and then a smaller one and a smaller one. Yeah.
The Russian doll. It's the English pipe. That's what they're going to call it. The English pipe. We're going to
pipe and a pipe and a pipe.
Anyways.
So next we have another interesting story that.
You know, if the co-host could get his computer up and running here, we could actually get it.
Right? Okay. Yogurt detox.
Yeah, so this one actually is not a bad story. This is something that I think is actually really good. So, company out there, Siggy's Yogurt, good product. I've had it before, very tasty. They're doing a competition to where they want you to detox from. They're calling it a digital detox. They want you.
So it's not a detox from yogurt. It's a detox. Okay.
It's a digital detox, and what they're saying is that they will offer $10,000 to participants who are willing to give up their phones for 1 month. Now, this is for the month of January. They were doing this, and they're calling it Dry January, or it's inspired by Dry January. And so they're taking applications for it through January. So they'll select 10 people for the digital detox, and they will have to keep their smartphones secured for 1 month in a lockbox provided by Siggy. The winner of this program receives $10,000, phone lockbox, and a good old-fashioned flip phone with a 1-month prepaid SIM card and a 3-month supply of Siggy's yogurt. Could you do that if you just had a phone and were just a regular?
If I wasn't a business owner, I probably would be able to do it. But I mean, even when I wasn't a business owner, I had 2 phones sometimes.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, sure. Here, take 1 phone.
I would be sitting. I think I would be sitting in bed going like, oh God, I can't play my game.
I know. Shoot, I can't even go to the bathroom without my phone most of the time.
You would have to get magazines again.
What?
Or news? Yeah. or newspapers.
What?
Yeah. I mean, because before we had phones to sit and read stuff on.
Oh yeah, yeah. When we were kids, our parents and their friends used to have like a
The little magazine tray next to the toilet.
Exactly.
It was like you were going to the doctor's office when you sit there. You're like, oh, let me look at the magazine.
Yeah, this is an old Sports Illustrated. Who wants to read that?
They went bankrupt. Did you hear that?
Oh,
they filed chapter something. I don't know which one it was.
Somebody bought them out.
Oh, they did?
I heard. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we might cover that on another episode once we get a little more information on it. So also this week, or this last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of really strange, and when I say strange, and I reinforce strange.
How strange was it?
Very strange.
Okay.
It was Dr. Strange. Strange Guinness World Records that have been broken. And these are things that I never would have thought would have been records, or even remotely should have been a record. So let's go ahead and get this started. So we got to ask, did he take the towels too?
Yeah, it says a California man who has been traveling frequently since the 90s earned a Guinness World Record with his collection of 1,136 hotel key cards. Don't they charge for those? A guy named Morten Sorensen said his collection began when he started traveling for business in the 90s and discovered most hotels allowed him to keep them as souvenirs. That I did not know.
I know every time I've traveled, so most of the time I forget that I have the key card. It might be in my wallet. I forget about it. Or it's I'm just done with it, so I'm like, okay, well, I know the whatever.
Sometimes they're so generic you can't even tell where they came from.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll just, okay, well, hey, cool, just, in the trash. I mean, what? I didn't even know there was a world record for it. So that means somebody had to have 1,131 of them.
At some time, yeah.
At some time.
And so was this guy like that? That was, when he was growing up, he says, I want to have the most
hotel key cards.
Of course, there probably was no hotel key cards when he was growing up.
I want to go back to the day. Remember they give you the big key? It was a key that had the big old huge head on it.
Yeah.
And you couldn't misplace that.
No, the key card, you misplace it and you got to go have another one made.
But yeah, I mean, the last time I was at a hotel, they had, I checked in and I got a key card for it, and it just had the name of the company that owned it on it. I believe it was a Sheraton I went to, and it just said IHG on the card. It wasn't anything special.
I've seen just simple white ones with, maybe like
that's what I'm saying.
Or something.
Yeah, and it just has maybe, like I said, the name. But why would you want to? I'm going to break a world record here and collect. I'm going to collect 80 million key cards. I mean,
the next story we have is about, we've got a hairy situation. A California woman has grown the world's longest arm hair. She earned a Guinness World Record when a single strand of her hair growing out of her bicep was measured at 7.24 inches long. Again, was there somebody at 7.22 and she, was like, come on, grow.
It reminds me of SpongeBob when they were trying to grow mustaches.
Oh, I didn't.
You never saw the movie?
No.
Oh. Once again,
she didn't discover her unusually long arm hair until 2012 when she was a junior in high school. So it was just hanging there, or did it just sprout up overnight? I mean,
but here's the thing: why are we taking a world record of long arm hairs? No, that's gross. But I guess if you're going to do something, go all the way with it. I mean, so it.
Well, then here, I was at Disneyland with my best friend Kaylee's family when her brother pointed out a hair on my arm. He was telling me that I had extremely long hair, and his original thought was to pull it. She refused to let him and decided she would attempt to grow the hair out for a potential world record.
Who thinks about this?
Yeah, maybe this is the selfie culture. I don't know, but yeah. Like,
who thinks about? I'm gonna have a world record of.
I have 175 freckles on my hand. What's the world record?
You better start trying to get that 176.
I know, right? Come on, Freckles.
Wow. So whip it good. In Japan, not Japan, China, this took place. They have this game called Whipping Tops.
Okay.
And you take it. It's really odd. I watched the video on this, and what it is you take the top of the take like a top, spinning top, and you sit there with what looks like a switch, or a they call it a whip, or it looks like a switch basically.
So it's like Indiana Jones playing with the top. Oh.
Yeah,
it's spinning the top, huh?
Yeah, and you sit there and you whip the top with this thing to keep it spinning. They broke a world record of having the most people that were doing it together. It was 1,946 people.
And none of them ran into each other, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
or neither did their tops or their whips.
So they did this. They kept their top spinning for at least 5 minutes to break the world record. The previous world record was 1,000 people playing it at once. Now,
I know a few people who'd like to see their top spinning for that long, but that's a different story.
have it. Yeah.
Sidebar.
Sidebar. I want my top is spinning right now. Yeah. So I mean, once again, a game that only in China. I've never heard of it anywhere else or anything. I mean, maybe this just comes from not having. I mean, it's like my grandfather always used to tell stories about playing with spools of thread after his mom used them. And they use that as toys. Maybe that's what it's from.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it came from some odd, corner of the country, and it just kind of spread.
Yeah, whip it good. Dun, 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 dun.
And lastly,
whip.
Lastly, we've got a bouncy castle in Pakistan that's officially dubbed the largest one in the world.
Yeah. So once again, you get. Always hear something bad coming out of the Middle East. If you're gonna hear anything, I mean, this is actually something good to hear from the Middle East. They have a company by the name of Jumbo Jump. They took the world's record for the largest inflatable bouncy castle. The castle wound up measuring out at 15,295.51 square feet.
They beat out a company called Jump X from Dubai, which had the title since January of 2023.
Why can't we just... There we go. Let's just solve our wars let's just solve all of our problems inside of a jumpy castle.
Jumbo Jump, which aims to attract more tourists to Pakistan, that's a hard sell.
That's right there, a selling point for me. I'll go just for that reason.
I know. Shoot, I mean, I used to have. We had a friend named Paul that owned a bunch of bouncy castles.
Yeah, we should reach out to him and say, hey, you got to hook him up. And
so Paul, how big was your biggest piece? It was like 1,000 pounds. Yeah. How much would this weigh? How many people would it take to roll this sucker up?
Yeah. Yeah. How many people would it take to roll up a 15,000 square foot?
Maximum capacity of 200 people. Features a slide, climbing walls, and various castle-themed decorations. Imagine the guy who has to clean that thing after a bunch of 10-year-olds and lower go to town on it all day.
Yeah. Whoa.
Hopefully they were wearing Huggies with the blowout barrier that...
And I hope they didn't took their sock. I hope they had socks on too.
Yeah.
While they were doing that. Like the ball pit at McDonald's. Thank God they got rid of that. That just was very unsafe.
I think after they found a snake in there is when they finally pulled the plug on that one.
Yeah, I mean, Ooh, the ball pit. Oh, that just was so disgusting thinking about
Do
it.
you remember when I used to have to clean that thing?
Oh, yeah.
Go in there with the vacuum, and sometimes I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck is?" And a lot of times I didn't want to know.
Yeah, I don't. I would. Thank you. Well, let's go ahead and go on. We still gotta bring up a little bit of serious stuff here. So let's go ahead and move on with Let's Talk. All right, when we last left you guys, we had talked a little bit about the primaries and what was going on. We were backing our good friend Ramaswamy and
good old Vivek.
Yeah, Vivek, and he wound up dropping out. It's sad because I had just learned how to pronounce his name. I finally got it to where I could actually say his name, and then he drops out of it. So we've had a couple other people drop out. We lost good old Ron.
Sanctimonious?
Sanctimonious, yeah. He dropped out. I
think someday he'll be a good candidate, but right now, I think the Republicans need to unite behind Trump.
They need to do something. I mean,
I think Nikki Haley, if she was a good governor at one time, and she was good when she was in his cabinet, I mean, she was always... was she like the ambassador to the UN? Yeah. I mean, and she always was quick wit. Somebody got to her somewhere, because now she just seems like she's there to run interference.
Yeah, and so it's played out to where it's just former President Trump and Nikki Haley and we got caucuses coming up in Nevada and the Virgin Islands for the Republicans on the 8th. The Democrats, they do a primary on the 3rd of February, and in South Carolina. I don't even know who the other two that are running on the Democrat ticket are. I have no clue who they are.
Neither does Joe Biden.
That's probably true. And they're not even really covering it in the media about it. Super Tuesday's coming up on March 5th. You got everybody and their dog. Every state and their dog is doing a primary or a caucus. I think we're going to make it a point that we will not cover any more politics until it's down to two.
Right.
Two, and one Democrat, one Republican. We won't cover it, but I'm still sad and saddened and depressed that our good boy Ramaswamy isn't there anymore.
Maybe we'll get a Ross Perot for this generation to win there.
Yeah, maybe, but will they do the pie charts?
Right.
That he always did. Yeah. So anyways, that's it for Let's Talk today. I think it's time that we do this and bring it to a close. We're almost about a half hour for you guys and keep our promises here at the Talking Goose. So with that being said, thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you do find this episode to be a little bit more humorous and a little bit more funny. Once again, comments, please, more comments. Let's comment on our stories, our show. Still working on the new studio. We're not done with it yet. Hopefully we'll be there soon. So that once again we can improve the quality of this program that we're bringing you. Until then, let's go ahead and I don't know. What do you think? Day over? Game over?
I think we're good.
Think we're good?
I think we got enough laughs in, and I think I think I like the format.
Yeah. I know I'm not gonna go fly in an airplane and sit in the lavatory.
I'm not gonna steal any key cards from hotels.
And you know what? I'm not gonna try to grow out a 8-inch long bicep hair.
You mean you don't have them already?
I don't have 8-inch biceps at all. I mean, you get it, man. Look at these pythons.
And we gonna take that trip to Pakistan to go in the 200-person bouncy house?
Yeah, that would not be that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe I got a passport. Go apply for one.
Yeah, they still got Still, I wonder if they still have the guy standing at the front door of the thing. Take your shoes off. Take your shoes off.
Oh, and with that, once again, you guys can always follow us on social media at The Talking Goose. We're on Instagram, or Instagram, X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it. We actually are probably watching us on YouTube. We are on podcast. Just search for The Talking Goose. You can go and find us at our website, The Talking Goose at thegoose.com. And once again, you'll join us in 2 weeks on a Tuesday, 10 a.m. Arizona Mountain Standard Time. Our show will be released and ready for your guys' viewing pleasure. And until then, let's talk. You guys have all a good week, and we'll be talking to you later.
See y'all next week.